Welcome to the Halloween Horror Events podcast. Subscribe to us on all podcast apps. Plus, subscribe on YouTube. It is all free after all. Tell all your spooky friends about us. Now let's get to the show.
Right, everyone, this is before the episode starts. Simon is taking forever to show up. And as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube or you listen to the podcast, I'm here with Joe. So we're going to have a quick chat between us. Joe, Simon says he's flying out September the 11th to Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Wednesday. Do you believe him?
No, do I fuck?
I mean, he sent me emails, screenshots, videos to prove me wrong. But I've always got the suspicion they're old.
Mm-hmm.
I need something totally up to date. And I'm still not going to believe him at some point. I think he's found another deal and he flies out Sunday or Monday.
Yeah.
And he's going to get there before me. Because, people, if you're honest, Simon's meant to be on the same flight as me. I don't believe him. He's sneaky.
Do you know what I think he'll do? I think he'll fly out on the 11th, but I think he'll stay for longer than what he's saying.
It's interesting to see. There's something up. We all, no one believe. I still think he might have another trip booked very soon. I don't know why, or even November. There's more to Simon. When you're listening to this, you're going to roll your eyes because you don't take mine and Joe's comedy that way, do you? Goes down like Tyson Fury in the Ninth Round with you. Talk about that quickly before we get into this podcast on X Simon take over. Fury, mate, the referee. Something wasn't right there in that round when Fury should have been knocked out. He should have stepped in and then ended the fight there, shouldn't he?
Yeah. One more punch and that was over.
Yeah. So the referee, I think, saved Fury, and that's a bit naughty. But who cares? We're going to disappear now, and then we're going to go over to our main host, Simon. Simon, sorry, but if you take too long and I record everything, things like this happens.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all you lovely people out there. This is the HHE podcast, and you are listening to me, Phil, and Joe. Today, we're going to talk about finally getting a HHN announcement, and it's the first one. It was at a certain event that only certain people could go to, so we'll get into that in the show. If you could follow us on all our socials at HHE Pod, at HHE Pod 1 on TikTok, I think. The rest are all. And give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe on YouTube, and if you are listening to this, give us a 5-star review and a little subscribe on all our podcast apps. So you could listen to me waffle on and do this intro 5,000 million times, but I haven't. This is the first attempt. I'm getting pretty good at this. I can't do this show alone. Phil's looking at me as if I'm a knob. But I can't do this alone, so let me introduce our two co-hosts. We do have two extra ones, not just me. It's two more.
Two big tits.
Phill G Travel is here now, as he's now been rebranded.
That shouldn't say Epic Phil on here anymore. That was changed the other day. So why is it still saying Epic Phil? I do not know.
I have no idea. And Josephine has finally arrived. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good, buddy. You okay?
I'm not too bad. Not too bad.
I've been hiding.
Yeah, we figured that. We had to send out our carrier pigeon, but he never actually arrived. So, like I said, we got our first HHN announcement. Let's have a quick look at the picture. What the tweet it sent us.
Why he's trying to do his stuff, what he always gets wrong. Joe, where have you been?
Get it wrong.
I can't say.
All right. Amsterdam.
No, I'm just kidding, man. Just been doing the family shit, mate.
Oh, and for once, Simon's actually got it working the first time.
Yeah, it's all ready. So, Halloween Horror Nights, I announced Haunted House announcement, Slaughter Sinema 2. You recognise the shirt, you'll wonder why I'm wearing this shirt. It is a sequel to Slaughter Sinema back in Halloween Horror Nights 28. And it says on the tweet, if you're dying for a B-movie horror marathon, head to the carrier driving, scream through scenes from creature features, grindhouse gore, spaghetti westerns, and more. Got nothing else except for that on the website. TikTok, Instagram. That's all we got. So, first things first, guys, what do you think of Slaughter Sinema being the first HHN announcement of the year, officially?
All right. Well, I never had the pleasure of going through it. I believe it was at 28. Is that right?
Yes, 28.
Yeah. I mean, but I've seen walkthroughs of it. Yeah, it does look cool. Very campy, 80s B movie. And it's one of those houses. I mean, I listen to a lot of HHN podcasts, and it's one of those houses. It's always up there with people's
Yes.
favourites.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting through it.
Mr. Phill, your thoughts?
Sorry. Because Joe's back, I don't have to talk as much, so I was actually relaxing. I'm ecstatic for this. I like horror. This is a bit of like Doctor Who campy horror as well. I'm a fan of Doctor Who, so this is a win for me. I loved the first one. I can't remember how many times I went through it. It's one of the ones I don't get scared at horror nights. It's very rare, but God, the smile on my face going through these type of houses. I thought the first one is probably in my top 3 original houses. All the horror nights I've done. Simon's done more of me, so I don't know where it's in. It's not top for me, it's third, but it's in my top 3. So I'm a stake. So keep on chatting, boys. I'm just gonna let Joe
Yeah,
shine.
If you are listening to this, get yourself onto YouTube. You'll see why I keep flicking. You can hear flicking noise. I've got my pumpkin
Pardon?
guts t-shirt. Flicking my t-shirt.
Fapping noise.
Yeah. Flapping noise.
This might be an OnlyFans podcast away Simon's going.
Because at the time they did Horror Inc. in the Men in Black store. It was they printed t-shirts for you, and this was an option. And Pumpkin Guts was one of the scenes in HHN 28. So speaking of HHN 28, let's just go back and watch because for some reason we've got this in 2020 in 28, but we never got anything else. Where's the bloody share sound? There we go. We got this in HHN 28 for Slaughter Sinema.
Slaughter Sinema presents a bloody B-movie marathon, all in one place, featuring Cult of the Beast Baby. It's a little monster. Amazon cannibals from Planet Hell. Watch out, boys. They'll chew you up. Pumpkin Guts. It's pumpkin spiced horror. And more we can't legally show you here. When the credits roll, heads roll. Slaughter Sinema Horror Marathon. Coming soon.
So, yeah, we've got that for HHN 28, and it's still playing in the background, and I can't stop it. It's loud as hell.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
It's gone now.
But why didn't they do one for this year? You would have thought first house, big announcement, do a trailer.
Yeah, you would think so. But to be fair, we'll go on to that where it actually was announced. That's why I don't think we've got much, because it was announced at a panel at a certain horror convention.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time ever it's actually was announced at Spooky Empire. Let me get this right. Midnight, is it Midsummer Scream? Is the one in California, and they usually get an announcement for HHN. But this is the first time I think Spooky Empire have ever announced, any form of house, to be fair. And to top it off, it was actually an original. So, what you thought? Actually, let's go back to that bit. What do you guys think of it being an original, being the first house announced instead of an IP?
Well, I'm surprised because we all thought that a certain other IP was going to get announced first.
Right. Okay.
Being Ghostbusters, but yeah, they've got to announce them all at some point.
Yeah. Well, according to the announcement at Spooky Empire, they said that this is going to be there's going to be 8 movies based on it, 8 original concepts. Because in the first one, I think was only 4 or 5. but this one is going to be 8. And one of the actual houses was Heavy Metal Rock, I think it was called, in 3D. While they were at Spooky Empire, they actually got a quick preview of what the scare actor would look like. So I will share that to you now. Well, that's a lot, really. That was it. That's all he really did. He just came out,
Mosh
did
pit.
that. And they just mentioned that it was Heavy Metal Horror in 3D, or Heavy Metal Hell in 3D was one of the movies that were based on it. That's one of the characters. So what are your thoughts on a big, funky skeleton monster man? Any
Yeah.
thoughts? Yeah.
That's Joe's fault, right? So I'm allowed to talk, I guess. It's a rip-off from HHE. We decided to bring out the skull this year for a bit of fun to be our extra mascot. And HHN has stopped. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
He looks cool. Still looks very rubbery though, but I'm not 100% sure. That might not even be the finished project. Project? Whatever. It may
Okay.
not be finished anyway, if you know what I mean. That might still be early on with the costume. So we'll give it a bit of time. But if that's it, I'll give the costume a 7 out of 10 because I'm positive for this year. I'm hyped
Yep.
for the house, 9 out of 10. And we do have one answer to a tweet. One answer on X. When I asked, we'll be recording Sunday. What's the thoughts about Slaughter Cinema 2 at HHN33? Also, big shock. Joe's back.
Yeah.
But the answer was from Megs is ready for HHN, otherwise at Megatron G13. So freaking excited. Can't wait for the camp of it all.
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
Well, we also did put a couple more tweets out because we went a bit mad when the announcement, because we actually, all 3 of us were awake at, I think it was about 11 o'clock, half 11, something like that.
Oh, we'll get back into that in a minute.
Well, we put a one out saying are you hyped for Slaughter Cinema 2? Thank you to everyone who voted, more than I expected actually. 56 votes and 98% said yes, take me to the movies, and 2% says no, I want to be a Kerber.
I did that as a joke, and someone actually did the Care Bear bit.
Yep. We got a couple of replies. 2 of them we won't mention, but one of them says Slaughter Cinema was my favorite original until Blood Moon came along, so I have high hopes for this sequel, and that was from Craig Willocks.
What was the
you
other
can't-
reply?
Yeah,
Yeah, tell us what
I
the
feel
other
like,
reply
yeah, I
is.
feel,
Well, the
I
other
feel like,
reply was
were they
Phill
rude?
G Travel. Loved the first
Oh.
one. Let's hope this is it's as great.
I tell you
And
what,
the other
that
one-
guy's brilliant.
And the other one, Universal Studios Worldwide podcast, hint hint, is one of the best ever original houses.
The podcast will never start.
Yeah, the
Well, there you go.
non-existent podcast.
So that's really it for the Twitterverse, to be fair. Tell I.
Just in general, everyone seems excited for this house.
Yeah. I'll just put this on. This is from. Oh, where's it gone? Everything
You got a
disappeared on
t-shirt?
there. Yes, I
Yes,
have
it's
got the
something there.
t-shirt. For some reason, my screen has gone.
Here we
weird.
go. Simon Tech issues.
Yeah, super tech issue.
I feel like I should make a special little like commercial here for when Simon does this.
Well, yeah, here we go. That is. Oh, is it moving? There we go. It's.
Well, before you go any further, give credit
Yeah,
to
it's
at Speculation Matt.
Yeah, HHN Speculation Matt. We've actually shared quite a few of his bits. There's the picture of the house. Well, I don't know if it's a house shirt or the original shirt. We still can't decide. Because if you actually do look at the shirt itself, you can see the skull man on it in the middle. There's some bones at the left. There's some vampire teeth, and a pumpkin at the right corner, and a crow, and some lightning coming out of the skull's head. So
Cyclops.
potentially, yeah. So that could be the one for the originals. A lot of people have liked this one, and a lot of people actually really like this one compared to all 3. I like the colour. I'm not too keen on the design. It's very similar to the horror Howard lives here, is it? T-shirt.
Yeah.
So there's
See,
not really much
I'm the
difference in the
opposite.
design.
I like the design, but I don't like the t-shirt.
I like that kind of faded grey colour. It's a little bit different than black or orange.
And I'm positive
Here's me
it's
wearing a black t-shirt.
I'm positive it's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's really it we've got. And
There's some great flick in there through them all them.
yeah. We have had some bits on Halloween Horror Nights, some teaser trailer things, haven't we? But we can leave them for another time when everything actually makes sense.
Can we go into a quick thing I want to moan about?
Go on.
I thought you were being
Floor,
positive.
floor is yours.
Hey, look, listen, I can be positive, but just like The Rock in wrestling, I can be the big boss as well. The big bad boss, the end game boss, whatever you want to be called. I can't remember what they called him. What was it, Simon? What's his nickname now?
Final boss.
That's it. I can be the final boss. I love announcement season. I love stuff like that. I love it when people can get to Spooky Empire. I hate the press team who keep on forgetting about the international people out there and think, stuff them. We just announce everything at night. Because I'm going to upset some of you Americans here. You probably do spend a fair bit of money, but in the small period we're there, if we mathematically figure out, we probably treble what you spend and we just get treated like dirt. So HHN, everything's great so far, apart from your press and releasing things. Grow up, get your life sorted before Joe comes and slaps you. I'm not slapping you, I love you.
There has been a bit of a trend since the other C word that no one likes to talk about anymore. Since
Chelsea.
Since that other word, it's been since then. It's been very, very, very national event, not an international event.
Oh, just say the bloody word COVID.
Yeah.
Why is
When it was
everyone
an international event, I'm not scared of saying that. I just don't want to keep being reminded of what that shit we
Look,
went through.
mate, it's history. It's always going to be there. So why embrace the mistakes that the world made?
No. So
Joe's with me.
what was I saying? You made me forget what I was saying.
Too sweet, Joe. Too sweet.
Yeah, but since then, they kind of just gone national and not been an international. Because before then there was like loads of international not convention really, press events. Because Mike Aiello used to come over in, I think it used to be in May or June, and push the event down in London. And since COVID, we've had nothing.
No.
Like I said,
Theme Park Worldwide, whatever they're called, Theme Park Trader. They went last year to a press thing in
London.
London.
But that wasn't a press thing. That was just literally telling you that the event started, and that's it. It was.
They got loads of cool stuff there, mate. Loads of people talk to them. I remember Ryan. I listened to that very well. Remember that?
I don't listen to it. I got
a bit jealous because Ryan's podcast. Nothing against you, Ryan. If you ever listen, you probably don't. But yeah, you're a podcast about theme parks, but you're not a podcast about horror events, and it doesn't kind of make sense.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you have a crap press team.
Do you think they're going to try
when
and
you're
push?
A bumblecar?
They'll probably try and push the Brits away and like get us to try and go to Bedford instead, if that happens.
Well, yeah, but what's the point of doing that now when this potential theme park, if it does come, is not till 2030 anyway?
Because they don't need us there anyway, man. The event fucking so busy.
The event was so busy, but did you not see the difference during COVID? How quiet it was?
Can I answer this question for you? Right now, stop thinking like fans and think like a business. Why would you push people away? What makes you more money? They don't care if it's packed and you can only get in 2 houses a night, the people who run it. They care about the profits, not about how many people are in there, unless the money drops. And then they want to see why there's so many people in there. But they want it packed every single bloody night. Stop. Anybody who thinks they don't is clueless on business. They want every number filled up because they want that money. So when fans get upset, Universal are not going to find a way to make it less busy. They need to find a way to spread it out more in the event, i.e. other extra houses, extra shows, but they're not going to try and have less people in there.
Yeah, well, I think last year actually did show that it needs 2 shows, not just one. because it
But
was
then,
a bit of a.
but then
There
you
was,
say that, Phil. Look at Disney. Disney have done that. They've got less people at Mickey's Not So Scary. All they do is put the prices up. You get less people.
But now it
I
always
mean,
sells out. Closer you get to the event, it always sells out. It always does.
exactly.
You have the odd,
Exactly.
yeah, but you only have 5% what's kind of empty. Most of it's busy. So they're not going to get rid of the internationals because it is the internationals. We wait. It's like for Mickey's Not So Scary. I don't know if Simon's doing it this year, but you get the feeling he's not doing it. Him and Julie are not doing it. They get there, see a night what's not sold out. They're going to do what everyone else does and go, do you know what? That wouldn't be a bad thing to buy for a night. And then all of a sudden, you think you're the only ones thinking that. Everyone else is doing the same. You get there, it's packed.
That's the way Horror Nights is going to go over the
Well,
next
the
few
thing is,
years.
I'll say something like that. When it comes to Mickey's Not So Scary, I won't do it because it's the same shit that I've done for the last fucking 8 years.
And it's
exactly
so
the
fucking
same.
expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Just like what's the one at SeaWorld?
Yeah.
Hello Scream.
Hello, Scream.
I would only done it twice in a row, and I would never do it again. And then I bought a ticket a week ago.
Yeah.
I got one night
But-
ticket. Last 2 times I had the full ticket.
But as I was saying, when it comes to Mickey's Not So Scary, it's the same. It's the same. Unless they change something, I'm not going to go back again. Same with Hello Scream. Unless they change something, I'm not going to go back again. Another example, Tully's. Unless they change something, I'm not going to go back again. When it comes to like Halloween Horror Nights, it's different every single year. Every house is different, but the atmosphere is very similar. The same. It's busy, but you can still get it done. And that's one of the reasons why at the moment I'm a big advocate for Scare City. This is the 4th year they're doing it in September and October over here in Preston or Chorley, Leyland, whatever you want to call it. And again, it's going to be different than what it was last year. They're already showing that it's going to be different. And this is what I like about things changing and being different all the time. When it comes to being the same, rinse, repeat, and repeat, it's like, no, that's just crap. I hate that kind of shit. That's why I've not been to Scarefest all the towers for the last 4 years. Pointless. It's exactly the same as what it was when I went before COVID. So unless
That's
things
poor.
change,
Sorry, can I just say that's poor from Alton Towers. The size of that park right now, it's Britain's biggest
Thought Park's
theme
exactly
park.
the same.
Yeah, but
Thought
Thorpe
Park-
Park's not the biggest, and it's a very small park. Alton Towers are just taking the piss.
No, Thought Park's Fright Nights is exactly the same, and that one actually sells out nearly every single night.
Yeah, but you don't want to go to that one because it's
Yeah.
full of horrible feral youths.
Feel like you're going to get stabbed at that one.
Yeah, so that's another one I won't go to. So speaking of that, if any independent any independent haunts out there, get in touch. We'll give you a shout out. Not
You can invite us as well for press night.
Full Amherst. Full Amherst boys.
Yeah, so
That was proper London, wasn't it? Oh, Amherst.
It's the best one I've been to.
Any more thoughts on Halloween Horror Nights? First announcement.
I've got a prediction. They've got to speed up house announcements. So I think
that was another
end
thing.
of May, beginning of June. I think they're
Well,
going
that's
to
just
throw
reminded
loads
me.
out.
They did mention at the panel, because I know you skipped it. They did say keep close to the socials this week. So potentially we're going to get a few announcements this week as well, according to from what you hear off the panel. Which I'm going to go back to that panel again. That panel is crap. It's the same one that they've done for 3
They're lovely
years.
people.
They're nice people, don't get me wrong, but it's just telling you how they build a house. It's exactly the same as what it was last year, but just with different people.
And the same people basically ask the same questions every year.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they did the
Just
Q&A
original.
this time because they did the announcement instead. They didn't have a chance for the Q&A. So it would have been nice if the Q&A and an international guest was there, but they don't get a
You
chance
know,
to
I'd love to be there. Excuse me. Yeah. Why'd you keep forgetting about the international guests? Why'd you just pretend it's only you Americans like that? We'll see how the answer is. I get loads of booze in there, but I love being the villain sometimes, so I'd enjoy it.
Well, like I say, we've had all the announcements for Universal Studios and DreamWorks Land, so now it is officially haunt announcement season. So let's get this ball rolling. Because I have said this off air, and I'll say it to you on here.
Yeah.
They need to have things announced because don't forget, 13th of August is when the Behind the Screams tours start. 13th of August. That's 2 weeks before the event
and you
starts.
just remind me something. Joe, listen to this, mate. You're there November, correct?
Yeah, October into November.
Yeah, right. Now, say you were there just after the event ended and you couldn't do any of the houses. a 2-week period, they offered a tour of every 10 house for a certain amount of money through the day.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not a park tour, so you don't need a park ticket. Would you pay for it? Because that means you can record, take pictures everywhere, because the event's over.
If I couldn't go to Horror Nights,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, yeah.
I just think it makes sense why they wouldn't do that. I don't fully understand. Simon explained some of the places may need be taken over for other things, but
Yeah,
if they pre-plan,
yeah, but like I said, it's better to offer if the sprung tent's not a problem, they just get put up. They can be left there for a couple of weeks and a month or whatever. But the sound stages are usually rented out in November, so they have to strip it down.
they rent it out too. Apart from the one what's for the Grinch, what's the others rented out for?
TNA have been there a few times. The people still shoot game shows in there and all the stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't know that actually happens. Don't forget, it's still Comcast, and Comcast have got a lot of programs that need recording. If they need that studio, they'll just use one of the sound stages.
Okay, well, so
Right.
7 houses tour, 7-house tour. Give us a 7-house tour in November and let people have a walk around who couldn't go to the event because they couldn't be there.
Oh
That time.
no, they have to reopen Fast and Furious.
I said 7-house tour. We'll keep it at 7 hours. We don't need to open that.
Well, I think
Actually,
that's it,
that
mate.
house they could keep open through the daytime. Let guests go through it. It'd be better
Well,
than the ride.
Probably. It will be. So, anything from you two? Is that do we wrap this one up? Make it nice and short and
Nothing
sweet?
for me. Just TikTok, guys. Keep an eye on it. I'm not in charge of that. So if anything
Mhm.
new comes on that, I'm trying to get it uploaded as quick as possible. When announcements happen, I try and get it out. 99% of it's HHN because, quite frankly, no one else really announces anything.
Oh,
And if
just
it's
before
a
we go,
UK one, I take no notice. That's Simon's job.
I
good.
do some stuff on Instagram, not much, but I am doing a bit.
Boys,
Go on,
just
John.
before we wrap up, what about the other trailers they've released?
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
I did say we'll go into that on our next one as we get to the build up. Because really,
Yeah.
Just very quickly,
yeah.
you got any idea what you think it is?
What?
That trailer.
That trailer's got all the IPs and originals mixed into one. Until we know what they are, we're all just going to be second guessing. So I think that's why I said wait until the announcements come out and then we can start to figure it out. That's what I personally think, anyway. And like I say, speculation is great, but it's getting to the point now where speculation is getting a bit boring. I want to actually know some stuff.
Ooh, well, speak for yourself, Joe. I think it's really cool, and I think they're setting up a new icon for the event.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one part to it. I do think a lot of it is to do with the IPs as well, the originals. But that egg and everything just says to me something's being released. It's probably if it's a Pumpkin Lord, oh, for God's sake, after the mess they made. Hopefully they be fixing the Pumpkin Lord. But there's so many I've heard a rumor there's meant to be 2 icons at the event. How rude that is, we don't know. Gonna find out soon enough, aren't we? Because they're running out of time.
Yeah.
Because the event starts in just over 3 months and a week.
Right.
Yeah. Simon flies out Monday.
Joe's just realised.
8th, isn't it, Simon? 8th, you fly out?
No one will see me in Florida till the 11th of September.
Okay.
I
think I'm done.
Yeah, so am I. So, if you have listened to this all the way through, thank you very much. Give us again, just hit the socials, follow us on all them, at HHE Pod, at HHE Pod 1 on TikTok. Like, subscribe, follow, do whatever you need to. I can't understand the way you just
YouTube. We're on YouTube.
we know we are.
Not everyone does so.
Oh, I did it all at the beginning.
You could see Simon's face getting angry when I get sleep, and Joe just laughing like a little schoolboy.
Well, so from me, yeah, whatever. Bye.
He never had. Can you just get yourself a catchphrase for God's sake?
No, I don't want one now. Piss off.
I told you. Watch it on YouTube, people. Anyway, from me, stay epic.
Good night
Bye.
and sweet screens.
Oh, fuck it. Tatty, bye-bye.
Bye.